Hello, full time from the Britannia. Well, from my sitting room. Stoke nil, Arsenal nil, and to be honest, like a lot of trips to Stoke, it's not one you'd want to look back on too much. Not a great game, not a great spectacle, um, not a great result really. It's not a bad result. I think having dropped points in midweek against Liverpool from a leading position, there was a real desire to go and get 3 points at Stoke today. But given our recent record at the Potteries, I think we had not won in our previous 5 visits. It would have been it's no great surprise really that we come away with 1 point rather than three. And for that, I think we owe a great debt to Petr Cech. The two goalkeepers played well on the day, Jack Butland for Stoke, and Petr Cech was given man of the match by Sky Sports. A number of excellent saves. One that in particular stood out to me was a double stop from Bojan and Joselu. Joselu had the first shot. Cech got down very well to deny him. What really impressed me was how quickly he sprung to his feet. You know, for a guy who's in his mid-30s now, straight up to close down the second attempt on the rebound. And another big save from him late on in the game, outstretching his left boot. I think Jonathan Walters having the shot from a set piece. So, big contribution from him. 27 clean sheets now in 47 Premier League appearances for Petr Cech. Extraordinary run of form he's been in the last couple of years. And delighted, obviously, that he's taken that into his time with Arsenal. Butland made one very notable save, I thought, from Olivier Giroud in the first half. Another brilliant, incisive through pass from Joel Campbell. Giroud went through on goal, and for my money, should have scored. And I suppose that's a slight frustration of the week. As brilliant as I keep saying, brilliant today. As good as Giroud had been at Liverpool, scored 2 good goals. He did miss a very, very presentable chance for another one, and missed a good chance today as well. And had he tucked that away, who knows how things might have gone. Arsenal struggled to create chances generally, and I suppose that's why I'm dwelling on a miss, because we weren't fluid going forward, and a lot of that has to do with the midfield. No Santi Cazorla, no Francis Coquelin, and today no Mesut Ozil, a minor foot injury for him. Should be back for next week, but that meant the entire central midfield that we started the season with was absent, and inevitably, we struggled for fluency. I thought El Neni might be worth a gamble given that, but instead Arsene went with Aaron Ramsey as his number 10, Matthew Flamini as a holding player, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in between the two. The problem there is that Oxlade-Chamberlain is kind of playing the Santi Cazorla role, the deep playmaker. And he's a guy who's been in such poor form this season. He really struggled to replicate the Spaniards' ability to distribute the ball from deep. There were some flashes of quick footwork from Oxlade-Chamberlain, which you'd expect, but he didn't provide anything like the same kind of steadiness on the ball that you'd hope for in the centre of the park. And I think going forward, we struggled. Theo Walcott, when he was withdrawn after 70 minutes, he sort of had an expression suggesting he was confused and exacerbated. But to be honest, that must have been the exact same expression that Arsene Wenger had on the sidelines watching Walcott's performance. I don't think it's about work rate. I just think he doesn't necessarily understand that wide role in the same way as someone like Alexis. And his positioning was odd at times. He didn't show for the ball as much as he'd like. And in his final 10 minutes on the field, was spending almost all his time drifting centrally, which was creating a problem for the fullback behind him, Nacho Monreal. So I kind of felt like bringing a youngster like Alex Iwobi on in place of Walcott was almost Wenger sending a bit of a message, saying that there's no room for complacency despite the injury problems we have. And they are big injury problems. And when you look at who was absent today, and you think that we could be welcoming back over the next few months, Ozil, Alexis, they could both be in for next week against Chelsea. Danny Welbeck not far behind, Jack Wilshere not too far behind, Thomas Rosicky, Cazorla and Coquelin, we've barely mentioned. So there is huge reserves still to return. Fingers crossed. No setbacks. The next few home games are going to be crucial. I think 3 of our next 4 league games are at home. So the point today does take us top again. But I think what's important now is to kick on from here. There's a superb opportunity to get some momentum. We play Chelsea at home. We play Leicester at home. We play, I think, Southampton. These are chances for the team to accumulate points and put a bit of distance between us and the likes of Leicester, the chasing pack. We ought to have done it at Liverpool. Perhaps we ought to have done it today had Giroud been a bit more clinical. But we still have a chance to do that. And it's essential we do it now. Every drop point at this stage hurts us come the end of the season. But we went to Stoke and we survived. And they are horrible bastards chanting about Aaron Ramsey's broken leg. There's no class or dignity in that, but perhaps we shouldn't be surprised. Anyway, let's leave it there. Cheers.